Yan Hu in power wished Confucius to call on him, but Confucius would not, so he sent a sucking pig to Confucius, and Confucius paid him a visit when he was not at home. But unexpectedly they met on the way. Yan Hu said to Confucius, "Come, I have something to tell you. Is it good for a talent to leave his state in chaos? No. Is it wise for a candidate to lose an opportunity? No, the days and months pass by. The years will wait for no man." Confucius said ironically, "Yes, how could I not serve?" "Men are born," said the master, "nearly alike by nature, but become different by practice. Only the wisest man and the most foolish," said the master, "cannot be changed." The master came to the small town of Wu where Ziyu was the ruler. When he heard sacred songs and string music, he said with a smile, "Is it necessary to kill a chicken with an ox knife?" Ziyu said formally, "I heard you say that a cultured man well bred in music would do good to the people, and an uncultured man well bred in music would be easy to employ." The master said to 2 or 3 disciples, "Ziyu is right. I have just said that for fun." Gongshan Furail, holding the fief of Fei in revolt, sent for the master who was inclined to go. Displeased, Zilu said, "Why would you like to go to him of all people?" The master said, "Could he send for me without reason? If anyone were to employ me, I would make ritual and music prosper in his state as in the Eastern Zhou." Xizhang asked Confucius, "What is a good ruler?" Confucius said, "One who can develop the 5 qualities in the world could be a good ruler." When Zilu begged to know which 5, the master said, "Reverence, lenience, confidence, diligence, and benevolence." Reverent, he would not hurt; lenient, he would win support; confident, he would be trusted; diligent, he would succeed; and benevolent, he could employ people. When the master was inclined to visit Bai Shi who sent for him, Zilu said, "I have heard you say that a cultured man would not enter the house of an evildoer. Now Bai Shi holds the fief of Zongmia in rebellion. How could you think of visiting him?" The master said, "Yes, I have told you that. But do you not know that a really hard thing cannot be thinned by grinding? A really white thing cannot be blackened even in black dye. Am I a bitter gourd only fit to be hung up and not fit to eat?" The master said to Zilu, "Have you heard of 6 virtues may lead to 6 defects?" Zilu replied, "No." The master said, "Come, I will tell you. Without the love of knowledge, a lover of virtue may become a fool, a lover of wisdom may become wanton, a faithful man may be cheated, a frank man may become rash, a brave man may make a riot, and a strong man may become arrogant." "My dear disciples," said the master, "why do you not like to study poetry? Poetry may serve to inspire, to reflect, to communicate, and to complain. It may help you to serve your father at home and your prince at court. Moreover, it may tell you names of birds, beasts, plants, and trees." "Have you studied," said the master to his son Bo Yu, "the songs on man and wife? If not, you would be like a man standing in face of a wall without seeing anything beyond it." "Ritual, ritual," said the master, "does it only mean the gifts of jade and silk? Music, music, does it only mean bells and drums?" "If an inwardly weak man," said the master, "pretends to look strong outwardly, is he not like a thief who bores a hole or climbs over a wall?" "A yes man," said the master, "is a thief of virtue." "To spread the rumor you have heard on the way," said the master, "is to neglect your duty." "Could we serve the prince," said the master, together with such pitiable people as are anxious to get what they have not, and afraid to lose what they have? What would not they do if they are afraid to lose what they have got? In old days, said the master, people had 3 faults which are perhaps not to be found now. Then arrogance showed little consideration for others. Now it goes beyond bounds. Then pride was formal. Now it is quarrelsome. Then stupidity was straightforward. Now it is deceitful. A good man, said the master, would rarely say what he does not believe, or pretend to appear better than he is. I hate, said the master, to see the royal red usurped by the ducal purple, to hear the imperial music corrupted by licentious local songs, and to know a state or a kingdom overturned by sharp tongues. The master said, I would prefer to say nothing. Zigong said, if you, dear master, say nothing, what could we disciples record? The master said, what has heaven said? Yet the 4 seasons follow their courses and all things come into being. What has heaven said? Ru Bei sent a messenger to see Confucius, who declined to see him under the pretext of ill health. When the messenger was out, Confucius took his lute and sang so that the messenger might hear him. Asking about the 3 years' mourning for parents, Zaiwa said, 1 year would be long enough, for ritual and music would be lost if a cultured man did not put them into practice for 3 years. In 1 year the old grain would be exhausted, and the new would spring up. So would fire be made from spring to winter. Therefore, I think the mourning may stop at the end of 1 year. The master said, would you feel at ease to eat good rice and wear silk dress after 1 year of mourning? Zaiwa said yes. If you feel at ease, you may stop mourning at the end of 1 year. A cultured man in mourning would not enjoy nice food, sweet music and comfortable bed. If you could feel at ease, you might enjoy them. When Zaiwa was out, the master said, Zaiwa is not a good son. A child would not leave its parents' arms until 3 years old. So 3 years mourning is a universal practice. How could Zaiwa belie the 3 years' affection of his parents? Difficult are those, said the master, who cram themselves with food all the day long without applying their mind to anything good. Are there not gamesters and chess players? It would be better to play chess or games than to do nothing at all. Zilu asked whether a cultured man valued valor. The master said, a cultured man values virtue above valor. Valiant without virtue, a cultured man would rise in revolt, and an uncultured man would commit robbery. Zigong asked whether a cultured man had dislikes. The master said yes, a cultured man dislikes those who speak ill of others, those inferior men who slander their superiors, those who are bold beyond what is right, those who take obstination for resolution. Then the master asked Zigong whether he also had his dislikes. Zigong replied, I dislike those who take cunning for wisdom, and modesty for bravery, and indiscretion for honesty. It is difficult, said the master, to deal with women and servants. If you are familiar with them, they will be immodest. If you keep your distance, they will complain. If a man is disliked at the age of 40, said the master, he would not change for the better till the end of his life. The Lord of Wei fled from the tyrant of Yin, the Lord of Ji became the tyrant's slave, and Bygone was slain for his remonstrances. Confucius said, the Yin dynasty had 3 men of virtue. Liu Xiaohui was thrice dismissed from his post of chief judge. Someone said, is it not better to leave the state of Lu? Hui said, if I continue to serve men in an honest way, how could I not be dismissed thrice more? If I choose to serve in a crooked way, Why should I leave the state of my parents? Duke Jing of the state of Qi said of the treatment of Confucius, I cannot treat him as the chief of the Ji family, but between the chiefs of Ji and Ming. Seeing Confucius, he said, I am old and have no use for you. Confucius left the state of Qi. The state of Qi sent to Lu a band of musicians and songstresses. Ji Huanzi accepted them, and no court was held for 3 days. Confucius left the state of Lu. A hermit of Chu passed by the carriage of Confucius and sang, O Phoenix, how unfortunate you are! The past cannot be repaired, but the future can be remedied. Done with it! Done with it! What can be done with the government? Confucius descended from his carriage in order to speak with the hermit, who hastened away so as to avoid talking with him. 2 riverside men were plowing the field when Confucius passed by and sent Zilu to ask where the river could be forded. The first riverside man said, Who is the man holding the reins in the carriage? Zilu said, It is Confucius. Is it Confucius of the state of Lu? Yes, it is he. Then he should have known where the ford is. Zilu asked the second riverside man, who said, Who are you? I am Zilu. Are you not the follower of Confucius of Lu? Yes. The world is overwhelmed with a flood of bad men. Who could stem it? Would it not be better to withdraw from the world than from the flood? He went on covering the seed. On hearing the report of Zilu, the master said with a sigh, Unable to get along with birds and beasts, with whom could I get along if not with men? If nothing is wrong with the world, what should I be busy about? Zilu lagged behind the master on the way when he met with an old man shouldering a staff and a weeder. Zilu asked, Have you seen my master? The old man said, Unable to toil with 4 limbs and to choose from among 5 grains for seeding, how can you ask me to tell who your master is? Then he planted his staff on the ground and began to weed. Zilu stood respectfully by the roadside. The old man kept him for the night, killed a fowl and prepared millet for the supper, and introduced him to his 2 sons. Next day, Zilu pursued his way, overtook his master, and told him all. The master said, He is a recluse. He told Zilu to call on the old man again. But when Zilu got there, the old man was already gone. Zilu said, It is not right to refuse to serve one's country. If the relation between old and young cannot be neglected, how could that between sovereign and subjects? How could personal purity be maintained if social relationships should be subverted? If a cultured man serves his state, he is only doing his duty, though he knows he cannot put his principles into practice. The following good men who would not serve the state: Bo Yi, Shu Qi, Yu Zhong, Yi Zhu Zhang, Liu Xiaohui, Xiao Lian. The master said Bo Yi and Shu Qi would not surrender mentally and physically. Liu Xiaohui and Xiao Lian would, but they were reasonable and prudent in words and in deeds, but that is all. Yu Zhong and Yi were free of speech in seclusion, pure in action and tactful in retirement. As for me, I am different from them. There is nothing I must do, nor anything I must not. Ji, chief musician, went to Qi. Gan, musician of the second meal, went to Chu. Liao, musician of the third meal, went to Kai. K, musician of the fourth meal, went to Qin. Fang Shu, drummer, went to the riverside. Wu, hand drummer, went to River Huai. Yang, assistant master, and Xiang, chime player, went to the seaside. None of them would stay in the state of Lu. The Duke of Zhou told his son, a good ruler should not neglect his kinsmen, nor let his ministers complain of distrust. He should not dismiss his old relations from their offices without grave cause. He should not expect one man to be capable of everything. The Zhou dynasty had 8 men of virtue: eldest brothers De and Qua, elder brothers Tu and Hu, younger brothers Yi and Xia, youngest brothers Sui and Gua. Zizhang said, "An intellectual is not afraid of giving up his life in face of danger. He thinks of what is right in face of a gain, of reverence and sacrifice, and of grief and mourning. Such may be said to be an intellectual." Zizhang said, "If a man holds what is right only in a narrow sense and believes in right principles but not firmly, could he be said to hold and believe in what is right? Or could he not?" A disciple of Zixia asked Zizhang how to make friends. Zizhang said, "What did Zixia tell you?" The disciple said, "Zixia told us to make friends with those who are worthy and refuse those who are unworthy." Zizhang said, "This is different from what I have learned. A cultured man should respect the good man and bear with others, praise the capable and help the incapable. Am I so good as not to bear with others? If I am not good enough, others will refuse to make friends with me. How could I refuse them?" Zixia said, "Even a minor art has an importance of its own. But it may hinder one's major occupation, so a cultured man would not practice a minor art." Zixia said, "If a man knows what he has not yet learned every day and does not forget what he has learned every month, he may be said to be a lover of knowledge." Zixia said, "If a man studies in a wide range and with an unswerving aim, if he asks questions earnestly and reflects on closely related problems, he may be said to have good qualities in him." Zixia said, "Hundreds of artisans complete their work in the workshop. An intelligent man should learn to attain his ideal." Zixia said, "An uncultured man would certainly gloss his faults." Zixia said, "An intelligent man has 3 different aspects. When seen from afar, he looks grave. When approached, he looks affable. When listened to, he looks dignified." Zixia said, "An intelligent man will not order the people to toil until he is trusted, or they will think they are exploited. He will not criticize the sovereign till he wins his confidence, or the sovereign will think himself vilified." Zixia said, "In regard to a serious matter of virtue, a man should not go beyond the limit, but in regard to a trifling matter, he may not keep within limit." Ziyu said, "The disciples and followers of Zixia are good at sprinkling water and sweeping floors, answering questions, coming forward and withdrawing, but all these are minor matters. I am afraid they are not so good in dealing with important things. Am I not right?" Hearing of this remark, Zixia said, "Alas! Ziyu is mistaken. In regard to an intelligent woman's ways, which should be learned first, and which may be learned later. Disciples may be compared to plants and trees. They may be classified. How can an intelligent woman's ways not be learned in order? Who could be one from the beginning to the end? Is it not the sage alone?" Zixia said, "An official versed in state affairs should amplify his knowledge. An intellectual well equipped with knowledge should serve the state." Ziyu said, "Mourning should not exceed grief." Ziyu said, "It is difficult to get a friend as good as Zizhang, still he cannot be said to be a benevolent man." Master Xing said, "Zizhang is ostentatious. It would be difficult to work together with him." Master Xing said, "I have heard from our master that no man should show his feeling to the full unless he is mourning the death of his parents." Master Xing said, I have heard from our master that it is possible to be as good a son as Meng Zhuangzi, but it is difficult to be as good an official as he in employing his father's subordinates and following his father's policy. The chief of the Meng family appointed Yang Fu as criminal judge, and Yang Fu consulted Master Xing. Master Xing said, those above have not followed the right way for a long time, and the people do not support them. If you can find out the reason why the criminals are accused, you should feel sympathy for them instead of joy for yourself. Master Xing said, King Zhou of Yi might not be so tyrannical as it was reported. That is the reason why an intelligent gentleman would not stay in a low place, where one would be accused of all the evils of the world. Master Xing said, the faults of an intelligent gentleman are like eclipses of the sun or the moon. When he does something wrong, all men can see it. When he has amended his fault, all men look up to him. Gongsun Chao of the state of Wei asked Zigong, from whom has Confucius acquired his knowledge? Zigong said, what the literary and martial kings had taught the people has not been lost on earth. Cultured men have learned to settle main matters and uncultured men to settle minor matters. There is none but has learned something from the literary and martial kings. How could my master have learned nothing? Why should he have learned from one particular master? Xu Sun Wushu said to an official at court, Zigong is more capable than his master Confucius. Zifu Jingbo told Zigong what he had heard. Zigong said, let us use the wall as a comparison. My wall is only as high as my shoulder, so the beauty of my house could be easily perceived from over the wall. But my master's wall rises many times a man's height. If a man cannot find the door to enter the house, the beauty and magnificence of the temple and halls could not be perceived. But few could enter his house by the door. No wonder the official should have said that about my master. Xu Sun Wushu spoke ill of Confucius. Zigong said, it is no use doing wrong to Confucius. Other good men may be vilified, for their height like hillocks or mounds may be surpassed. But Confucius is as high as the sun and the moon. How could he be surpassed? If a man should try to harm him, it would turn to harm himself. What harm could be done to the sun and the moon? It is beyond a man's reach. Qin Ziqin said to Zigong, you are too modest. How could Confucius be superior to you? Zigong said, by one word an intelligent gentleman may reveal his wisdom or ignorance. So we should be careful about what we say. It is as hard to catch up with my master as to ascend the sky by a ladder. If he were in control of a state or a great family, the people would stand when he raised them, they would follow him when he led them, they would come from afar when called on to, and they would work in harmony when taught to. Living, he was glorious; dead, he would be bewailed. How could he be equaled? Yao said to Shun, who succeeded him as emperor, O Shun! Heaven lays the divine duty on you. You should follow the right way without deviation. If the people in the world suffer poverty and misery, heaven would no longer bestow favor on you. Shun said the same thing to you who succeeded him as emperor. Tang, who founded the Yin dynasty, said, I, your humble servant, ventured to sacrifice a black ox and declare to my supreme sovereign in heaven that I dare not pardon any sinner, nor conceal any guilt of my ministers, which is of course clear in your mind. If I myself am guilty, do not lay blame on my people. If my people have done wrong, you may lay blame on me. Zhou had ennobled its lords and enriched its good men. King Wu of Zhou said, I have bestowed favor on my kinsmen, but less than on good men. If my people are guilty, lay blame on me alone. When attention was paid to weights and measures, statute and laws were reviewed and disused offices were restored, the government would go on the right way. When fallen states were re-established, descendants of extinguished families were found out, and unemployed good people were employed, the heart of the people would turn to the government. Emphasis should be laid on people, food, mourning, and sacrifice. Lenience will win the people, faithfulness will win trust, diligence will win success, and justice will win happiness for the people. Xizang asked Confucius, "How could a man become a good ruler?" The master said, "A man good in 5 aspects and free from 4 evils may become a good ruler." Xizang asked, "May I know in which 5 aspects?" The master said, "An intelligent man should do good without waste, make people work without complaint, have desire without greed, uphold justice without pride, and inspire respect without awe." Xizang asked, "How could a man do good without waste?" The master said, "If a ruler only does what will profit the people, is it not doing good without waste? If he orders people to do what they can, how could they complain? If he desires only to do good, how could he become greedy? If he treats all equally, whether there are many people or few, in great matter or small, is it not justice without pride? If he adjusts his clothes and hat and looks dignified, would he not inspire respect without awe?" Xizang asked, "May I ask about the 4 evils?" The master said, "To put people to death without reason is called tyranny. To expect success without due warning is called exaction. To demand timely completion without giving timely orders is called irresponsibility. To reward people in a stingy way is called miserliness." Confucius said, "One who does not understand the divine law cannot be called an intelligent man. One who does not understand the social order cannot stand in society. One who does not understand what words imply cannot understand men.